Good morning, class, and welcome back. Idioms and collocations. Building up your collocational resource. Can you see my slides, please? Building up your collocational resource. Collocation. Word combination. Collocation or word combination. Our ability to use language fluently and effectively depends on a knowledge of what? Can you tell me? Listen again. Your ability to use language effectively. Wow. Give me the secret, please. Depends on what? What's the secret? What's the trick? I want to speak English effectively. Give me the secret. Our ability to use language effectively depends on a type of knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of collocation. Knowledge of collocation. Knowledge of word combinations. Knowledge of units, language units. Knowledge of lexical and functional chunking. This is a quote I mentioned among the quotes on top of the course outline, which we discussed 6 or 7 weeks ago at the beginning of the semester. And I said that there would be a class dedicated to lexical chunking, to collocation. Our ability to use language fluently and effectively, and to be honest, more than that, fluently, accurately, effectively, efficiently, appropriately, and also to sound like a native speaker this ability depends on lexical chunking. It is not then sufficient to build up your lexical resource, your vocabulary. We've been talking about building your vocabulary for the last 3 classes. We talked about different ways to tackle, expand, improve your vocabulary. Beginning with a class about aspects of vocabulary that you need to know, 10 aspects that you need to know when you decide to learn a word, such as stress, pronunciation and distress, word family, grammar, spelling. One of these aspects, by the way, is collocation. We had another class, another week, another session about how to figure out the meaning of a word from the context using context clues and contextual analysis. The previous class was on inferring meaning from word parts, so applying your morphological knowledge to figure out the meaning of unfamiliar words, trying to recognize the bits and pieces that make up a word. Today, a 4th session or a class, but this class will be, now we're going to go beyond words in isolation. We're going to look at words as parts of larger units, as the chunks of a speech, ready-made. So these what we call collocations. Phrases, I would say, come under collocations. Fixed expressions, idioms, phrasal verbs, compound words, idiomatic expressions, all are types of collocations. Binomials, types of collocations. So a collocation is a word combination. 2 or more words as a unit used together all the time. So you need to build up your collocational resource, not just your lexical resource, your vocabulary. You need to pay attention to collocation building, not just vocabulary building. So let me write this down here. You need to pay attention not only your vocabulary building, but also collocation building. Collocation building is more important than vocabulary building. Developing your collocations is more important than developing your vocabularies. Collocation building. So from now onwards, I want you to think of collocation building rather than vocabulary building. Collocation building. What is collocation? Collocation is a term used to describe the way particular words in English combine and occur together regularly and commonly. Each language has its own collocations. But since we're talking about English, then our examples will be based on English and from English. Collocation is a term used to describe the way particular words in English combine and occur together regularly and commonly. For example, in English we say a short film and long walk, but not a small film or large walk. The adjectives short and long collocate naturally with film and walk. They combine with film and walk, but they do not combine with long. Small, for example, does not combine or collocate with walk or film. Their usage is common and predictable. So is also small house and large family, but not short house and long family. Though word combinations are predictable for native speakers, they are not predictable for students of English who will need to learn them as they learn new vocabulary. With practice, using collocations will become second nature. And so please, from now onwards, from this class onwards, focus on building your collocations. Whenever you learn a word, do not learn it in isolation. Learn it as part of a unit, with a word before or a word after. Language users tend to use the same groups or combinations of words again and again. This is easier than trying to think of new ways to say things each time. And so, when building your collocations, you will be more fluent because you will not have to think about what word to join or to combine with which. You have these ready-made chunks. You have these chunks ready at your disposal. You don't have to think of what word to combine with which. And so you'll be more fluent in terms of fluency. And you will be more accurate in terms of accuracy. Instead of combining two words that do not combine, that do not collocate, native speakers do not use them together, so you will be more accurate because the word combinations, the collocations are right. You will be more appropriate, so appropriacy, and so you will be more effective and more efficient. It will save time and the message will be more effective and you will sound like a native speaker. So there are many benefits for collocations or collocation building: fluency, accuracy, appropriacy, effectiveness, efficiency, and sounding like a native speaker. 6 benefits for building your collocations. It's worthwhile. If you can recognize, and so it is also easier for listeners, not just this is easier than trying to think of new ways to say things each time, and it is also easier for listeners and readers if they recognize the group of words, since they do not have to think about each word separately. This will improve your fluency also in reading, because you will tend to read words as units rather than single items. If you can recognize many common collocations, your comprehension and fluency, accuracy and appropriacy will improve in all language skill areas: listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You will also sound more like a native speaker. And so if you want your speech and writing to be comprehensible, effective, accurate, fluent, appropriate, and native-like, natural, then collocation building is the key. It is the formula. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 benefits, even 7. Because when you know the right word, you will not grope, you will not try, you will not flounder. You will not flounder and grope for the right word. The chat column. Flounder. You will not grope trying to look for the right word. And so this will save you time. So there are actually 7 benefits for building your collocations. Your comprehension, fluency, accuracy, and appropriacy will improve not just in reading, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. So your communicative competence, your communicative competence your CC, your intercultural communicative competence, your ICC will improve. Dramatically. Your intercultural communicative competence, your ICC will improve. Are you with me, guys? Are you following?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The way words are used Knowing about possible word combinations is an important aspect of learning a new vocabulary. For example, make, not, do, or give goes with an effort. We say to make an effort, but not do an effort or give an effort. While gain, earn, and win may be similar in meaning, they combine with different nouns. In other words, they collocate with different words. For example, we say to win an election, but not to gain an election or to earn an election. We say to win a game, to win a war, to win an argument, to win a competition, to win the admiration of someone, your boss, but not to gain the admiration. On the other hand, we say to gain entrance, to gain access, to gain an advantage, to gain a reputation, to gain independence, to gain some weight. For example, etc., etc. We say to gain weight. You've gained some weight during COVID-19. You do not move. We do not say earn weight or win weight. To gain weight. We say to win independence, not to gain independence. So, collocations, word combinations. Of course, there is no logical reason why we say a tall building and not a high building. There is no logical reason why we say a tall man but not a long man. There is no logical reason why we say a long road but a high building, a high street, not a large street, or high prices, not larger prices. There is no logical reason why we say this, not that. It's just common usage, history, and the way words customarily are used in a certain language. I might have asked you before if you want to express the idea of, you have the word tea and you want a take out. How would you express take out in English? The idea of a cup of tea that would really fix your maybe foul or fucked up mood. What would you say? A what cup of tea? Or what kind of tea? How would you describe this kind of tea? We discussed it, I think, before. In English we use the word strong tea, strong coffee, and the opposite will be weak tea, weak coffee. By the way, in Arabic, the word we use with tea, if I want to translate it literally, it is heavy. So heavy tea, literally. Because the word in Arabic is ثقيل, تقيل, شاي. And so, if I want to speak to an Englishman and I rely on mental or literal translation, then my communication will not be effective, will not be accurate, will not be fluent, will not be appropriate. Because in English, heavy and tea do not collocate, meaning they do not combine. Native speakers do not use heavy and tea. They do not collocate. They do not naturally or customarily come together. And so fluent communication depends on knowledge of collocation, not mental or literal translation. Remember this. Each one of us has his own or her own native language. And so we tend sometimes when we speak to translate literally or mentally based on our knowledge of our own collocations in our own language, but not on the word combinations used in this case, English. So we tend to make mistakes. And that's why it pays to learn words right at the outset as collocations, as units. Improve your knowledge of collocations, your knowledge of lexical chunking, not just vocabulary, single items. We say to earn a living, to earn a fortune, to earn the respect of someone, to earn a reputation, but not to win a reputation, to earn a place, etc., etc. Similarly are the triplets lose, miss, and waste. Each one of these combine or collocate with different words. For example, we say to miss the bus, not to lose the bus. I missed the bus, not I lost the bus. To lose money, not to miss money. Okay, do we say to lose an opportunity or to miss an opportunity? Which one collocates? A question of collocation. Do native speakers of English say to lose an opportunity, I've lost that opportunity, or I missed that opportunity? You see, you're required. And so when you know the right combination, you'll be fluent, you'll be accurate, you'll be appropriate, effective, efficient, and more native sounding. So, do you miss an opportunity, or lose an opportunity, or waste an opportunity? Think about it, or consult your dictionary. Go to opportunity, or to miss, or lose, and waste, and you will find, the right collocation. But I'm just drawing your attention to how big this issue is and how useful it is to pay attention to it. Having introduced the meaning of collocation and the importance of collocation, let's now look at types of collocations. Has anyone found the answer, by the way? It's a question of collocation. It's a question of collocation. Not yet?
Doctor, all can be used but in different contexts.
You mean we can say to lose an opportunity, to miss an opportunity, to waste an opportunity?
Yes, doctor.
Can you elaborate?
For miss an opportunity, it means that you're too late. So maybe you should have done it on a certain time, but the date is gone, so you cannot do it now, like a deadline. And for lose an opportunity, it implies that it will affect your future. Perhaps somebody else took the opportunity and now it's not available, and you will have to face the consequences. And for waste the opportunity, maybe you took the opportunity but you did not try your best and now it is wasted.
To be honest, I am not sure about what you have said, but the point is clear. The point is a question of collocation. Types of collocations. There are many types of collocations, including binomials, phrasal verbs, fixed phrases, compound words, idiomatic expressions, etc., etc. Lewis, a linguist, proposes that fluency is the result of acquisition of a large store of these fixed and semi-fixed prefabricated items, which are available as the foundation for any linguistic novelty and creativity. So the more of these collocations, the more of these fixed and semi-fixed items, prefabricated, made before, you just draw upon them. You just draw upon them. The more of these you have in your store, in your collocational store, the more you will have creativity and novelty in your communication. These are some patterns or types of collocations. Adjective plus noun. Name some words that can combine with friend. So, some words that can combine with friend. Adjective plus noun. Best friend, for example, close friend, family friend, good friend, great friend, old friend, special friend, school friend, etc., etc. Name some words that can go with strong. So an adjective plus noun. Strong chair, for example, strong current, strong drug, strong leader, swimmer, strong team, strong supporter. Another pattern is verb plus noun. For example, become friends, have friends, make friends, remain friends, stay friends, and win friends. Another pattern is verb plus adverb. For example, to decrease considerably, to decrease dramatically, to decrease gradually, to decrease significantly. Another pattern is adverb plus adjective. For example, extremely friendly, genuinely friendly, naturally friendly, really friendly, reasonably friendly, very friendly. A type of collocations is fixed phrases. These are phrases that generally do not vary in form, cannot be understood, in other words, from knowing the single words, like idioms, fixed. These include some very common phrases such as of course and right away, by and large, by no means, with a view to, at any rate, give rise to, take into account, take into consideration, etc., etc. So these are fixed phrases. They cannot be understood from knowing the single words. They are fixed units. By no means. Please do it. At any rate. These and many other fixed phrases are truly fixed. That is, they are always used in exactly the same way. Others, such as make up your mind, can be altered to made your mind or make up my mind. So you can my, your, his, make, made, is making. So they are semi-fixed. So some are fixed and some are semi-fixed, like half-fixed. Binomials, one type of phrase or one type of collocations is binomials. We've already seen in the video some types of binomials. For example, rain or shine, salt and pepper, rise and shine, pick and choose, safe and sound, hot and cold, left, right and center, head and shoulders, loud and clear, hard and fast, dollars and cents, black and white, fish and chips, fork and knife, tired and tested, speak and span, culture vulture. A binomial is a short phrase with a specific word order. Rain or shine, safe and sound, hot and cold, loud and clear. Loud and clear. So these are some types of collocations. Word combinations. So they are used together. A tired and tested method, for example. Fish and chips, not the chips and fish. So in this order, word order, specific word order. Hard and fast, not fast and hard. Left, right and center, not any other order. He made his argument loud and clear, not clear and loud. So binomials are a type of collocation. And so the point, guys, of this discussion is to stress the importance of learning words in chunks, as our ability, as noted, to use language fluently and effectively depends on a knowledge of lexical chunking. Each lexical item, as we have seen, each vocabulary item has a tendency to keep regular company with certain other items in utterances. For further examples, given the item chair, we are more likely to find in the same utterance the items sit or comfortable or high than say haddock or reap. So we say comfortable chair, high chair, sit on a chair, but not reap a chair or haddock a chair. So certain words go with certain words, customarily, as I said. Language thus consists not of a traditional grammar and vocabulary, but often multi-word prefabricated chunks, units. And so fluent competence, your ICC, intercommunicative, intercultural communicative competence, does not depend on mental translation or literal translation, mental or literal from your language translation, but rather on collocations, which are largely language specific. Each language has its own collocations. As we have seen in Arabic, we use the word heavy to collocate with T. In English, we use a strong. In English, we use the word eat the tape. Eat the tape. The cassette player, I don't know, maybe you're young. Have you seen a cassette player? Before the invention of CDs and the invention of the pen drive, we used to have cassette players, a cassette. So sometimes a faulty cassette player will Okay, in English we say swallow the tape. Swallow the tape. The tape. In Arabic we use the word يأكل. Sorry, I have confused them. In English, English people use the word eat. Eat the tape. The cassette player eats the tape. It's not good. When you put the tape inside, it will like the tape will become entangled and damaged. So they use the word eat the tape. In Arabic we use the word literally yibla. Literally means to swallow. And so if I want to translate literally, if I want to express this idea in English and say based on my language, my own mother tongue, I would say this cassette player swallows the tape. So it will not make sense to an English speaker, because swallow and tape, she has never heard swallow and tape being used together. So the meaning might not be clear, accuracy will be affected, fluency will be affected, effectiveness will be affected, your communication will be affected. Your message might not get across. And if you manage to get your message across from the context, you will not sound like a native speaker, and you will not be accurate, though the speaker has got the message. In certain contexts, the message you might be able to communicate the message, but it will not be accurate. And in some cases, the message will not be communicated completely. I mean, I don't think that if I go to England and ask for a heavy cup of tea, if I go to a restaurant and ask the waitress to get me a heavy cup of tea, that she or he will understand what I mean by heavy. Because I'm translating from my mother tongue. But if I use strong tea, it will be understood the message. Because in their English or language, they use these two words, they combine, they collocate. By the way, what word do you use in Malay in this case with the tape? As I told you, in English we use eat the tape. In Arabic, the literal translation will be swallow the tape. What word do you use in Malay to express this idea? Let's say that you have come across eat the tape in English and you want to translate it into Malay. How would you translate that? You have to translate it in a way that will make sense to the Malay, the native speaker. Meaning you have to choose word combinations, collocations established in Malay. Word combinations or words that are customarily, naturally used by native speakers, Malay native speakers. So I'm asking a genuine question, by the way. How you Malays express this idea? What do you say to describe this problem? A cassette player that eats the tape. My God. Lavinia, by the way, you can think excuse me, since we have people who speak different languages like the Tamil and like maybe a variety with Chinese, think of the same term in your own language. What do you say? What word collocates with tape?
Tea?
Sorry?
Yeah, the word tea, doctor?
No, tape. In English we say eat the tape.
Wait, you want it in my mother tongue?
Yes.
玻璃胶纸.
Literally means?
It literally means glass adhesive paper. Glass because it's transparent.
So to eat the tape, the literal meaning in your language of the expression of or the collocation means to glass paper.
Glass adhesive paper. But doctor, I still don't really understand what you mean by eat the tape.
Guys, do you understand what I mean? What native speakers mean by eating a tape? Maybe because Lavinia, you haven't seen. Have you ever seen a cassette player? Because you are, you're young. You haven't seen or used a cassette player. I have hundreds of cassettes back home. Now no one has cassettes. No shops for cassettes. Even CDs are disappearing now, after the invention of the pen drive and.
Yes, doctor, I've seen a cassette before.
So a cassette player, the machine that plays the tape, some machines become faulty, and when you put the tape inside, the tape, the lace, the tape will be. Sorry?
Yeah, I understand.
The machine will take the tape and no music will be there anymore. So the English people use eat the tape. Arabs use swallow the tape.
Oh, I'm not sure what it is in my language. But I thought you meant just
Adam, Faris, how would you translate? Let's say that you have come across this sentence in why, and you are a translator. Excuse me. I don't want this cassette player. It eats a tape. I have to return it and get another one. So this eats a tape. How would you translate this into Malay?
I believe I would either.
You've got to avoid literal translation in order to make sense to Malay speakers. How would you say?
I would either use telan,
Meaning?
swallow, swallow.
Okay. Say the holy phrase. Eat the tape in Malay. Write it down.
I think if we are to avoid literal translation, it will be like if we are going to the store and we are saying that the tape has been eaten, maybe kesek ni nak kena telan lah, like something like that. Kesek ni dah ditelan, kesek ni kena telan.
Literally means?
The cassette player has eat the tape.
Can you write this? Can you write the collocation in the chat? The Malay the Malay expression.
My translation is actually informal, so it will be.
Write it in the chat now.
I'm using the spoken Malay case.
Write the phrase in the chat.
Something like that. I think so.
I don't see it in the chat.
Telan.
Okay, guys. The other Malays. Does this make sense to you? If you go to your mom or father or a friend outside the class now and say this, will they understand what you mean or think that you have gone mad? Will it make sense to them? All right. So hopefully I have managed to show you the importance of collocations. So even in your own language, by the way, because language is a lifetime job, even your own language, you learn every day as you engage more in communication, as you engage more, as you interact more interpersonally and intrapersonally. So collocation, but the thing is that in your own language, as a native speaker, you build up your collocations naturally as you acquire the language effortlessly. But when you learn a foreign language, a second language, you have to be conscious of this activity. I just tried it and she understood me just fine, laughing out loud. What have you tried,
Basically,
Vikram?
just repeated the question to my mother, like, "Kaise saya dakane telan," and she understood what I was trying to say.
Really?
So I think it does a pretty good job, yeah. She didn't have to ask me to repeat myself or anything like that. She got the gist of it right away.
I want
Although we
some.
don't even have a cassette player.
I want someone else to try. Okay, the literal meaning of the Malay words, guys, again. The literal meaning?
Cassette ni dah kena telan. It means it refers to the cassette player that that the tape has been eaten by the cassette player. Cassette dah kena telan. Has been swallowed actually. Telan is swallowed.
Try to say this when you leave the class to some of your friends and see, look at their looks. See if they are, if they take it, you know, I mean, if they are surprised, shocked, or if they look at you, you know, what's wrong? Experiment with this. Have fun.
My dad has one of those back in the days, and I think he uses the phrase "kena telan" to describe it. So that's why I remember it.
I don't know. Maybe if that's the case, then maybe in Malay you use the word the word eat. So it looks as though you use the word eat in Malay to describe this situation or this kind of incident. To make sure, you need to use a concordance. Using a concordance, using concordances, a collection of texts, can help you know which word collocates with which word combines with which words combine with which according to the speakers of the language. So this is how we know collocations. Okay. So these are words that are we customarily often put together. Some words can go together and some cannot. We can say, for example, he never pays attention, but we cannot say he never gives attention. He never pays, not gives. We say a tall tree, but a high mountain, or a long road, but a tall building. We say open the door, or window, or your eyes, but turn on the radio, or the light, or TV. Certain words are typically used with other words. For example, miss the bus, a strong accent, the car broke down. It's vitally important. Fasten your seatbelt, go on holiday, give someone a hand, to a certain extent, a terrible pain, deliver a speech, deliver a baby, deliver a blow, deliver a lecture, make a mistake, make a decision, make a mess, tell a story, tell a joke, miss a lesson, miss a person, miss the bus, start a family, run a shop, run a company, tell the truth, not say the truth, hard work, heavy traffic, strong coffee, a soft voice, dry weather, heavy rain, a great success, lascivious thoughts, erotic fantasy, mild doses, entrepreneurial mindset, life-enhancing properties, to keep the body in equilibrium.
I want to show you're talking.
Terribly sorry, highly unlikely, fully aware, vitally important. Listen, I deeply regret, I honestly believe. We say a tall tree, but a high mountain, as I said, or a long road, but a tall building. These words are called collocates or collocations. More common collocations, as we have said, make a mistake, make a decision, make a mess, miss the bus, earn a living, gain entrance, find a solution, get on a bus, resolve an issue, overcome a difficulty, remedy a situation, reach a compromise, address a problem, face a problem, tackle a problem, deal with a problem, start a family, private tutoring, private car, tuition classes, tuition,
Co-working.
classes, special case, the car broke down,
A car broke down.
it's vitally important, terribly sorry, absolutely freezing, a big impact, environmentally friendly, fasten your seat belt, give someone a hand. I think we've already mentioned this. Analysis of, benefit to, consistent with, interested in, comment on, satisfied with, grateful to someone, grateful for someone, sympathetic towards, etc., etc.
What?
Listen,
Simpa? Where are you walking? I want to see you here.
So there are more and more collocations. General health, high prices, grisly job, endless roll-ups with characteristic candor, fall in love, drive carelessly, well-paid job, cosmopolitan city, Spartan existence, win a race, to quash a false rumor, strong teas, long process, tall building, traffic jam, free delivery, office equipment, a marvelous holiday, a wonderful holiday, an amazing concert, a terrific show, a splendid meal, a superb car, a magnificent collection, an excellent presentation, an exceptional teacher, an extraordinary performance, a breathtaking performance, a fantastic movie, an awesome movie, tremendous honor, an outstanding musician, etc., etc. An optimistic attitude, a terrible accident, a dreadful accident, a tasteless meal, an exhausting trip, a lonely widow, a frustrating time, a confusing situation, a disgusting smell, a shocking attack, a tense mood. I truly appreciate your offer. We strongly recommend, we honestly believe, I deeply regret, we fully recognize, I sincerely hope, we positively encourage, etc., etc. Choosing the right word combinations will make your speech, as we have said, writing sound more natural. Also, choosing the best collocation will enable you to express yourself more clearly and precisely. These are some collocation mistakes made by some learners. For example, from the bottom, private case instead of special case. So, special car instead of private car. Universal organization instead of world organization. So we say world organization, not universal organization. Private car, not special car. Special case, not private case. Strike a balance, not make a balance. Turn on the light or off the light or radio, not open or close. These are common collocation errors made by Arabs especially. We have no time for this. You can do this exercise at home. I will upload the slides. Name 1 or 2 words that can occur in the object position. Make something. Make what? Make a meal, for example. Earn a living, for example. Gain weight, for example. Add a word here that can collocate with the other word. The same thing. Break an arm. Break glass, for example. Shrug shoulders. So think of a word that can collocate with these words. You can use your dictionary to help you. The same thing. Name some words that can again co-occur or collocate with these. A tall man, a long road, a private case, for example. A cosmopolitan city, a red light, for example. So please work on these. Remember to expand your knowledge of idioms and collocations in English. To improve your collocations, you need to read extensively. You need to notice idioms and collocations as you read. You need to highlight them and write them in your vocabulary notebook. As you can see, this topic is crucial, extremely important. From now onwards, please pay attention to your collocations. Build your collocations. I have another activity. I have already uploaded it. Please look at this activity also at home. Practice and consolidate your learning by completing these activities. In the first one, you need to refer to the words in bold to choose the correct common collocation to complete the sentence. Excuse me, quiet. Just the first one. Complete the sentence with the correct common collocation. Okay, the first one is done. The latest figures are encouraging and indicate what do we say? A strength in the economy, or a growth in the economy, or a high in the economy. What's the answer? In other words, what word collocates with economy here? The latest figures are encouraging and indicate a strength in the economy, or a growth in the economy, or a high in the economy. A high in the economy. Which one is the correct one? Which one is the right collocation? Come on.
Growth in economy.
B. Growth in economy. Okay, let's take one more since we have 2 minutes. The movies that compel students to seek education are quite varied. The motives, that compel students to seek, what do we say? To seek top education, open education, higher education.
Higher.
Higher education. So some collocations are already known to you because you've been using English for quite some time now. But you will notice that there are also many, that this area still needs improvement, and there's a big room for improvement. So now that I've drawn your attention to this issue, please be conscious of it and begin paying attention to collocation building rather than just vocabulary building. As you read, notice groups of words, not single items. Notice how words collocate or are combined, and when you write a word in your notebook, write it as part of a group rather than a single item. Look, for example, in your own book at page, let's say, for example, look at page 97, exercise 11, 97. So on this page, you see groups of words, collocations. So a handful of, a broad range of, get in line, place your order, hand over, take hold of, the whole experience, taken for granted, brushing your teeth, values it embodies, a revolutionary force, a complex interplay, on any given day, a relatively brief period, popular culture, twice a day, a single bite. So learn words as part of units, not just as single items. Any questions? If you've paid attention, I'm sure you've enjoyed the class and found it insightful. I wish you all the best, dear students. We shall meet next week, and we shall move on to the third part in our textbook, comprehension skills. We've been dealing with vocabulary so far. This is the fourth session, consecutive session, dealing with vocabulary. If you take these tips and these strategies and these insights regarding your lexical resource and vocabulary expansion or enlargement, then I am sure that these insights, tips, strategies will make a big difference in your lexical resource, its expansion, and ability to figure out the meaning of unfamiliar items. And this will have an effect on your proficiency as a whole, your English as a whole, all the skills, not just reading. If no questions, I'm going to end the class now. Thank you again, and see you next week.
They want to talk. You want
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Why are you want to talking?
Come, say bye to my students. We're leaving. Say bye. See you.
Bye.
See you.
See you.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Look here. This is the camera.
Where?
This dot here is the
I'm
camera.
gonna
Okay, no, let's end the class. See you. Bye, guys. Okay, Bob. Go. So let me stop.